Hi there. Welcome to Apple World. I needed to get my kids free from this hard thing that they were learning about their dad, which was false during his declaration and the continuous maligning preliminary against Amber. Johnny Depp focused on what Amber's allegations meant for his two youngsters. Lily Rose and Jack Johnny made sense of the fact that his kids were really one of the fundamental reasons he chose to sue Amber for criticism. I felt it was my obligation to stand up for myself as well as defend my youngsters. Johnny likewise shared how his two children were many times moved toward in school by different understudies who might get some information about every one of the terrible titles that were continually being produced. Later, Amber first made her allegations against Johnny. It was devilish that my kids would need to go to class and have their companions approach them with Individuals magazine cover, with Miss Hard with a dull injury all over, and we realized Johnny was coming clean about his youngsters being impacted by Amber's allegations, since there are various clasps out there of forceful paparazzi following Johnny's high school children and posing them unseemly inquiries about the case. For instance, look at this clasp of the paparazzi inquiring as to whether it's actual her family never enjoyed Amber and constraining her to remark on Johnny and Amber's separation. Truly, you think it was appropriate for Amber to separate your vehicle after your grandma's pass? Is it genuine that your family never truly preferred Amber? And remember, this happened not long after Lily lost her grandmother Betty. Paparazzi were similarly forceful when Lily was all over town with her more youthful sibling Jack, who was only 14 years of age, when Amber openly blamed Johnny for going after her and got a limiting request against him. Lily is, your mother and father reuniting. I'll put the reports and the rest. Lily Rose and Jack are presently both youthful adults, so how would they feel now? Pretty much every one of the allegations Amber has made against their dad, Lily Rose, who turns 23 on May 27, was really quite possibly the earliest individual to openly protect Johnny back in May 2016, soon after Amber showed up in court with a swollen face and got a limiting request against Johnny. Lily shared a screen capture of an article from Individuals magazine expressing that the cops who answered Amber's homegrown episode call found no proof of any wrongdoing at the scene. Lap Sergeant Marlon Marachi told Individuals at the time that on May 21, 2016, officials answered a homegrown episode radio call but found no proof of any wrongdoing. A wrongdoing didn't happen, so the officials left the scene and left a business card, Marachi said, adding that Amber would not document an authority grievance. Lily later likewise shared a legacy photograph of her and Johnny, and wrote in the subtitle, "My father is the best, most cherishing individual I know. He's been only a brilliant dad to my younger sibling, and I and every individual who realizes him would agree that a similar." Lily had likewise supposedly attempted to caution Johnny about Amber, and Johnny uncovered during his court declaration that Lily would not go to his wedding to Amber on the grounds that she and Amber were not on especially incredible conditions in light of multiple factors, but rather that is not all. Johnny additionally asserted that Amber attempted to distance him from his kids by requesting that he invests all his free energy with her. "Amber needed to have me there consistently for her own necessities," Johnny said, adding that Amber would let him know what a terrible dad he was and that he had no clue about how to parent. When asked to depict the connection between Amber and his two youngsters, Johnny answered that it was non-existent. "My children are definitely more savvy than I am. They won't associate with hers." Likewise, fascinating was that during Johnny's defamation legal dispute against the English newspaper, The Sun, Amber guaranteed in her document that the evening of December 15, 2015, Johnny slapped her hard, gotten her by the hair, and hauled her from a flight of stairs across the loft. In the process, he pulled enormous lumps of hair and scalp somewhere far away from me. Amber composed. Amber went on to say that she attempted to quiet Johnny down, but he turned out to be much more forceful. He hit her toward the rear of her head, snatched her by the hair once more, and hauled her by the hair up the last couple of steps of the flight of stairs. Johnny continued to hit me, and each time he thumped me down, I decided to respond by essentially standing up and looking at him without flinching. Amber, her in the face, slamming her nose, which promptly started draining. Yet get this, Johnny's legitimate group introduced proof appearance that on December 16th, only one day after the supposed occurrence depicted in Amber's recording, Amber sent totally lively instant messages to Lily Rose that read, "Family time, yippee." Johnny's documenting likewise expressed that Amber recommended getting together with Lily Rose that day or the following if Mr. Depp had really caused serious facial wounds for Miss Heard by thrashing her. The recording read the reason why was she in any event, taking into account meeting his little girl who it should be. Expected would have inquired as to whether Miss Heard's record were right. The documenting additionally called attention to the fact that the day after the supposed assault, Amber showed up on The Late Show with James Corden, and her appearance was plainly inconsistent with the serious and clear wounds that she had guaranteed were caused only the prior night. In particular, 2 bruised eyes, a busted lip, erect or truly harmed nose, and detached hair. And on the off chance that you're interested, here's Amber on James Corden's show under 24 hours after she guaranteed Johnny headbutted her and slammed her nose. As one fan remarked at the time, I couldn't in fact conceal a pimple or a mouth blister with cosmetics, and Amber's here concealing bruised eyes, almost broken nose, enlarged face, and a busted lip. I wish she'd share her mysteries, and someone else said so. This isn't so much as an entire day after Johnny purportedly split her lip completely open, and she had 2 bruised eyes. She doesn't appear to stress over making misrepresented facial feelings. By the way, during his declaration in court, Johnny portrayed exhaustively his fight with Amber on December 15 and said it was really Amber who went after him. And afterward, he faked a ridiculous nose with a red nail clean. Miss Heard ran out of the main room or a room and began drawing wild punches at the rear of my head. And afterward, I hauled the Kleenex out of the garbage and understood that it was nail clean. Johnny's disclosures about Lily skirting his wedding and declining to connect with Amber started a discussion on Twitter, with fans saying that it's unmistakable. Lily realized what was happening and Amber was most likely frightened. Lily would convince Johnny not to wed her. One Twitter client said little girls are normally extremely insightful. Lily Rose probably knew from the very beginning that Amber was an entrepreneur and gold digger. For this reason, Amber didn't believe Johnny should see her. She stressed that Lily Rose would persuade Johnny to do certain things. Many fans likewise said that Johnny ought to have paid attention to his little girl and understood that Lily not coexisting with Amber was a tremendous warning. On the off chance that your children don't coexist with your accomplice, then you should reconsider getting hitched. One fan said there are consistently exemptions, obviously, yet I consider most of the time your children need to start things out. Johnny and Lily Rose have forever been very close, and it's simply miserable that Johnny didn't understand at the time that Lily was correct about Amber. Lily Rose skirted Johnny's wedding to Amber and had no relationship with her. She understood what sort of individual Amber was. One fan tweeted, on the off chance that this doesn't persuade you that Amber is a wretched individual, I don't have the foggiest idea what will concern Johnny's more youthful kid, his child Jack. Back in 2018, Johnny conversed with GQ about what Amber's allegations meant for his children, and he expressed that Jack specifically struggled with managing the fallout of Johnny's untidy separation from Amber. Johnny made sense of that after Amber first blamed him for being genuinely forceful. What he previously believed was what the allegations would mean for his youngsters. I actually tend to think about everything my family and my children think. Johnny said, GK. You understand immediately that what is being done is the beginning of what they trust is to be your burial service, and more regrettable than that to remove future profit that are for my children. You realize I do this for my children. Man, how should anybody emerge with something to that effect against somebody when there's no reality to it at all? Johnny then, at that point, proceeded to say that Jack, who was only 14 at the time, made some extreme memories in school in view of the consistent newspaper inclusion of Johnny and Amber's relationship. I'm certain it was difficult for my 14-year-old kid to go to class. You understand what I mean, Johnny said, with individuals going, Hello, take a gander at this magazine, man. What? Your father pummels chicks or something? For what reason did he need to go through that? For what reason did my girl need to go through that in the manner in which Johnny's child Jack, who's currently 20 years old, doesn't have online entertainment? Subscribe Apple World for more videos.